It's Friday. I'm Holly Taylor, and today we have our Good Company correspondent, Robyn Roste, joining us. We're going to be talking about things new, transitions, seasons a-changin'. So I would be remiss, Robyn, if I didn't ask, have you had a pumpkin spice latte yet?
It hasn't happened yet, but I know, I waited patiently for September 1st because I know that's the official start date of pumpkin spice season. Yeah. And I've actually sent my husband to the coffee shop right now, and he's getting me my very own pumpkin spice latte.
Your first one of 2023. I'm going to have to wait till probably the 21st, 22nd-ish, like the fall weekend.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I feel like, it's so hot here. I still want summer drinks. I want the fruits, the ice, just anything to cool me off. But then, I don't know, fall doesn't start till fall. So why are we starting fall so early?
Well, Holly, you don't have to stick with hot drinks. There are many other pumpkin spice things. There's pumpkin spice Spam, pumpkin spice Werther's, pumpkin spice goldfish.
There you go.
There's many options.
Okay, all right. You have me sold. I'm going to jump into the goldfish. Oh, the pumpkin spice goldfish. That's amazing. Oh, man. Well, we're not going to talk just about pumpkin spice, but rather, as I said, seasons of change. And on faithstrongtoday.com, your article is about the 4 tips for successfully transitioning from remote to in-office work. Or as a worker who's had to make that remote situation work, and now you have to go back to the office. And I kind of feel like in the fall, this is when even businesses, let alone schools and students, make different shifts. Or we're seeing now the university students who've graduated, full court press, trying to find a job after having, done school from home, and now they're being required to be in the office. So what are some of those things that you discovered while getting ready for this article?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing I really realized was during the summer, it's pretty relaxed in most kind of office environments.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of downtime, flex hours, summer hours, extra days off. And then really September is that reset for a lot of workplaces where everyone's back to your business casual dress code. And let's start, trying to implement that a little bit more. Let's look a little more professional. And it's just, it was just when I was looking through, is there anything new for this year? Just realizing people are out of shape from working in the office. They don't quite remember how it works. What was second nature to us 5 years ago just isn't quite there in the top of mind anymore. So yeah, that's what this article is about. So just a reminder to dress appropriately for the office, especially if you're seeing clients or customers. Practicing good communication. So, communication skill is a skill and it's something you have to practice. So if you've been home for a while working, behind a computer screen, your communication skills may have taken a step back or two. So it's good to practice making eye contact, saying hello, just making small talk or having little anecdotes to share. Also just being considerate. So the food you bring to the office matters.
Yes, no stinky lunches, which is funny because when you said out of shape for the office, I was like, how did you know I gained my COVID-15? But you mean all about the protocol, not physical shape.
That may have, that's a separate topic. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that go out of shape. And, actually our manners is the other thing too. Please and thank you. Hey, do you have a second? Rather than just starting a conversation with someone who's, in the middle of work or not realizing that they're wearing earbuds or just not being on time, being a few minutes late for your start time or the meeting or just complaining, things like that, just showing bad manners, just letting things slip. Yeah. So this is just a reminder to kind of do that little tune up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shifts. I mean, you still get to work from home, which is lovely. Do you go in the office at all?
I do. Yeah. 1 to 2 days a week, I go into the office. And it definitely this article actually writing it reminded me hey, I do have nicer clothes. So I've started actually dressing a little nicer since then.
Yeah. But it kind of makes me wonder sometimes, what is the point?
I know.
I mean, my productivity didn't slip when I was working from home wearing slippers and my stretch sweatpants. But yet there is something to say about creating environments, and what you wear is a big part of it.
Yeah, I think so. And I do understand this like Gen Z argument, which it makes perfect sense, especially for Gen Zs that are just entering the workforce and haven't had to work in an actual store or office. Like, it makes no sense. Isn't how I'm dressed good enough? But it does present a brand. So you're representing the company you work for. You're representing them. And so when you show up a certain way, it actually sends them this unconscious message to people on how to think of you, how to treat you, how to treat the organization. And it does make a difference. Like, if you're polite, if you're respectful, if you're dressed well, it just shows this respect to your clients and customers that, just showing up in maybe your loungewear or your, tights, like, it just doesn't send the same message. It's a little ultra casual for maybe the professional image that you might want to send.
Mm-hmm. And it also goes to show the different ways we communicate messages. When we were limited to the channels that we could send messages, I think we did a great job working with what we had. But people forget about, like you said, those nonverbal cues. What you wear says something about you or the space that you're in. It's all these nonverbal communication points that we've been able to ignore for a couple of years, but not anymore.
Yeah, it's honestly been a bit of a relief, for me at least, not to have to wear makeup every day or just have to worry about the top half of my outfit looking pretty presentable. But you know what? Like, I'm ready to switch things up. Like, it's been long enough. Yeah, it is. Like, and I do feel better when I make an effort to put together a nice outfit or I feel a little bit more put together, a little more polished, a little more confident. So I think that really does overflow into everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Robyn, I don't want to keep you from your pumpkin spice latte #1 for the year. So thank you so much for diving into this conversation about just seasons of change and transitioning from remote to in-office work and just the different ways that we can communicate without using words.
Absolutely. And, here's another pumpkin spice tip. There's some ice cream flavors that I think you'll really enjoy. So why don't you do that?
Okay, I'm going to right now.